Morning, everyone. This is Jermaine, once again with Black Wall Street ATX. And as I'm waiting on my truck to warm up, Black Wall Street has three divisions within it. It has BWS Transport, and currently I'm allowing my truck to warm up, diesel to warm up in order to perform at its maximum peak. But while I'm doing that, I wanted to share some of my thoughts with you all. Future videos, we'll begin to talk about the trucking industry and how to maintain and take care of our truck, things that we need on the road. Just some basic stuff to help, black people or black truckers entering into this field to be successful. I haven't been in it that long. However, I have a long family history of truckers and people who have driven over the road, and so I'll share some of that knowledge with you in the future. But what I want to talk about really quickly was the purpose of education. And it's part 2 of one of my YouTube videos on education, the state of education. A brother stood up against the Chicago public school district for his termination for being actually just a good principal, just a good teacher, a good steward of taxpayers' dollars. But this is part 2. And I wanted to kind of touch on the purpose of education in the sense of what is it for? Do we go to school for 12 years in order to leave there to get a job, and then we go to college for 4 more years, and then graduate school for another 2 or 3 years in order to just get a job? Is that the point of education? Is that the point of the $100,000, $50,000, $20,000 of school debt that we incur for a diploma or a degree that is actually useless to pay itself back? Because the education should be an investment into your future and into your life. And so you incur $100,000 worth of investment, and most of us decease with this enormous amount of debt, this crushing debt upon which we find ourselves. And so I would like to introduce a different view of education. Education shouldn't be for you to walk out of there to get a job. That should be the least of your concerns with education, because most of us don't even get a degree in the field that we're currently working in. We'll go get a degree in sociology, and then we'll go work in an industry completely opposite of sociology. And then when we get on the job, they train us to do the job that we actually have. And I understand the degree just shows that you're able to complete something. But the degree itself and the training that the degree provides, you never really benefit from that. And so what I would like to discuss with you is education should be more of an enriching experience in order to bring out in the individual aspects of themselves that they didn't know. So we go to church and we don't look at that as education. We go to the mosque, we don't look at that as education. But education indeed it is. Because when we go there, we're enriched with an idea that brings out a different aspect of ourselves and a different aspect of thought that we have that we didn't know we had. Many of us become new people based off educational experiences that we have. Sometimes our experience comes from the streets. Our education comes from the streets. Our education comes from an institution such as prison. Or education comes in the experience of something that we experienced in the world. And that enriches us sometimes to become better, greater, or more than what we are at the present moment of our discovery of that gift called education. So when we go into the school districts, education should be bringing out aspects of us that will empower us to go into a field of study or a field of employment that brings out the best in us. Because you make $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 a year does not mean you're successful. Many of us who make that amount of money are in increasing debts. We're buying things that we don't need or that depreciates in value. Many of us don't have investments or even life insurance. The basic thing to put us in the ground, we don't even have. We're asking for GoFundMe accounts and people to donate to burying people. It was interesting that Nate Dogg of the Dog Pound, they asked for GoFundMe money to put this dear brother in the ground. How tragic is that, when the money he made from the music industry and such wealthy friends didn't have the money to put him in the ground? That's very interesting. They may have had the money, but they didn't want to depart with it. And so education doesn't mean financial benefit. Many of us are on medication to cope with the stress that these jobs are placing on us. Anxiety. Many of us have become having anxiety issues. Many of us can't sleep. We're restless at night. Many of us are turning to drugs such as amphetamines and alcohol, anxiety medication in order to sleep at night. Has your education prepared you to be able to rest at night? And so the things that are going on within our fields of study or our fields of employment are not preparing us adequately to manage our lives individually. It teaches us and trains us to go manage on a job, to have good high performance ratings on a job. You're an excellent performer on your job. But in this field called life, we suck at it. And we need things to help us cope with the reality in which we're living in. The reality that we're working for people who don't look at us as human beings, who lie and cheat and steal and manipulate in order to make a profit. And we're trained to uphold that type of system and reality for money. The better that you're able to acclimate to this environment of lies, deception, and deceit, the more money they're willing to pay you. You should be compensated oftentimes for betraying your own people. Go and hire 5 or 6 of your own people and watch what they begin to talk about, diversity and inclusion. But when it's all of them, diversity and inclusion is not really a topic. They have an excellent workforce, and as long as it's 1 or 2 of you, it's diverse. But you're trained to meet their needs on the job. Not only their needs in order to turn a profit, but you're also trained to meet their needs and how they feel about you. Whenever we smile, skin, and grin, we're satisfying something in them, that everything is all right. The way that we're treating you must be all right. You smile every day. You're happy every day. The medication that you feel makes you feel happy. And so coping on these jobs, this position that you're holding, is empowering their behavior against you. So what has your education really done for you? You have to become someone else to cope with, deal with them at work. You know, it means nothing at all if the job prepares you to do, if your education prepares you to do a job to just be a better tool for someone. And I'm speaking from experience. I'm speaking from working on a job most of, not all my life, and realizing that the training only prepares you to be a better tool. It doesn't prepare you to be anything else but a tool for that job. You're not who you want to be on the job. Any type of change or advancement that you will recommend for the job, they'll deny it. They will go and hire people from another country, South Central America, and pay them less than what they're paying you. So their concern really is not you. Their concern is the bottom line, which I understand. As a business owner, you look for a profit, but their profit is coming at your expense. Overweight, hypertension, high blood pressure, these problems that you are suffering as a result of medication that you're taking, kidney problems, liver problems. Many of you have breathing problems, stress, stroke, because you're coping with a reality that is not right for you. Your education has served you no purpose. The education that we're receiving is not really good for us. And until we deal with that reality, the reality of what's going on, and stop trying to separate it. Stop separating the reality of what's going on. Black managers and leaders and educators are being pushed out of these fields. Why are you being pushed out of these fields? Why do you feel targeted at work? Because in fact you are. There are not enough jobs for you and them. Those jobs were intended for their people. And as their population moves from out of the country and the suburbs back into the cities, and they move away from farming and these other things that they used to do, they need employment. And the job that you have is the one that they need. That's the reality of the situation. The reality is you're not a human being at work. And you know it. The more they pay you, often to betray your own people. You can go tell on black people and Mexicans, but you bet not come to them about their own people. And if they do, they're going to talk to their people. And then they're going to start targeting you. And many of you know that's a reality. They should pay you a good salary to betray the aspirations of your own people. They should. So I want to, as usual, talk about a solution to that type of problem. When you're on that job, your sole mission should be to educate yourself in order to leave. To join on with other black businesses and help them advance their business and make their business more profitable. That should be our aspirations. Our aspiration should be to take the education that we're learning and use it in a way to where it is beneficial to us and our people and a growing population of our people. Our people need jobs. We lead in unemployment. So we definitely need jobs. Who's going to give us a job? Who's going to give the brother in the hood that's never had a job an opportunity? The sister who's coming off drug addiction, the brother who's coming off drug addiction, who's going to help him with a job? If we don't begin to believe in one another and the aspects and aspirations of our people. Because it's obvious they're not. They will look out for each other when each other does criminal activities. They will try to shield them. But lo and behold, if you do anything, if you spit on the ground while walking, you're subject to go to jail. And so I say to you, brothers and sisters, education is not to help you get a better job. We need to lose that silly idea. Education should be to enrich you to be a better version of you. To look at yourself in the mirror and love the person you see in the mirror. To love your kinky hair, to love your broad nose, to love your thick lips, to love your dark skin. It should be to help you understand yourself better, such that you will love yourself more, and in loving yourself more, you can give more to the world. That's what your education should do for you. And whenever you go seek or find employment, you should be able to give the best version of yourself to that employer. We are grateful for the education that they provided us, and we're grateful for the education we learn on our job. But that education should be only to walk away from your job one day and seek employment of your own. The Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad called it the still away plan. That we should be on our jobs learning in order to bring that back to our people. and help our people with better opportunities for education. And so I want to wrap this up with remind you to listen to the solutions. The solution should be to go on that job and learn what you can, and begin to unite with other people that look like you, and let's build our own economy. Black truckers, we need to really think about what we can do for our people. Other races of people who they transport their goods for others, for themselves and their own kind, they look out for them. They make sure that they charge you to transport goods, but with one another, they give each other discounts or free in order to lessen the cost to make their products more marketable. They're able to charge a reasonable rate for their products cheaper than what we can, because we're paying freight charges and other charges that come along with that. So as black truckers, we need to begin to work with our people to move their goods around this country at a rate that is reasonable to where we're able to stay in business as truckers, and if they can get their products that they need to sell to our people at a reasonable rate. Unity is what we lack. The Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that big field awaits the wide awake man to work out in. Understand what he said. Black people can build their own economy. And within that economy, we can circulate our dollars, which is Black Wall Street's main idea. When we founded this company, our sole mission was to stimulate the circulation of dollars within our community, to where each one of us pass our dollars to one another, keep our dollars between one another, and make our businesses more profitable by doing such. And in turn, 1.3 or 1.8 trillion, whichever economist you listen to, $1.3 trillion of buying power can return back to our communities. And not only return, but we can be a competitive people against any people. Those businesses that we support will fall. The stores on the corner, the Bells and the Walmarts and the Targets, these companies will fold tomorrow if we begin to make our own Targets, our own Walmarts, our own businesses, and support them with our $1.3 trillion. Those businesses will be at the top of Fortune 500, and then use our intelligence that we're using for them in their businesses. Use that intelligence to grow and build our own. We will be a successful people. So brothers and sisters, I don't want to hold y'all much longer. My truck seems to have warmed up. I wanted to give it 15-20 minutes to do as such. But once again, I'm your brother. I'm Jermaine with Black Wall Street ATX. Continue to circulate those dollars. If you want to find black businesses in the Central Texas area, you can go to www.blackwallstreetatx, one word, blackwallstreetatx.com. There's the Black Business Directory, and you should be able to find several black businesses in the Central Texas area that can provide some of the goods and services that we all need. You can also visit We Buy Black. They have vendors on there that can ship goods and services to you. If you're in the Central Texas area, I'm willing to deliver any of the Eden Fresh products right to your door. Many of you will drive all the way across town, because we live in food deserts. We drive way across town just to get soap and deodorant and toothpaste, toothbrush, all these things that we need. But Eden Fresh Products provides all natural, 100% natural personal hygiene products. We have soap, deodorant, toothpaste, we have dishwashing liquid, we have laundry detergent, we have hair shampoo, hair conditioner. We sell these great products, and I'm more than willing to drive them and deliver them right to your door if you're in the Central Texas area, oftentimes for free. And if it's a cost, it'll be minimum. It'll be $5 or something just to bring them to your door. That'll help me with gasoline. to drive them to your door. But I'm more than happy to do that to you. I'm more than happy to provide that service to you. Here in the near future, we'll be using our truck to help people move their personal household items to wherever new location they may have, whether it's a storage or an apartment. And so once again, I'm Jermaine with Black Wall Street ATX, a proud distributor of Eden Fresh products here in the Central Texas area. You all continue to stay safe and take care of yourself. Eat healthy, drink plenty of water, and live safe. We'll talk to you again soon. Bye.